have the idea of making something happen and really taking the steps to make it happen.
Sure. So you gotta come up out that dream. You gotta wake up and go to work. God blesses all of us to turn our dreams and ideas into their tangible equivalents. You
I was
have
waiting for you to drop
you,
that.
you have to have the faith, be willing to do the work, and expect the outcomes. The other thing is you have to be humble, and you have to know what you're good at, and then bring in people that can help you. So it's called show business. I was a businessman for a large part of my career, so I knew that part. And the show part, I needed to bring in people who had gravitas in the show. So I brought in Monty Ross, who helped Spike Lee to form 40 Acres and a Mule and did his first 9 films with Spike. I brought
Let me ask you this right there. How do you talk him in? He's had that level of gravitas. How do you talk him into paying attention to you?
So it's relationships, right? Relationships are critically important. I knew a cat that I went to high school with. He heard that I was making films. He said, "Do you know Monty Ross?" I was like, "Well, actually, I need to talk with somebody like that because I want to go to a whole nother level." And so he said, "Well, he happens to be teaching at ODU in Hampton. Let's have dinner." And so we arranged the dinner. I told him what the vision was. He came on. We also recruited a brother out of Brooklyn, New York, who understudied under Joel Schumacher and Martin Scorsese. So Q is like my right hand man. Q came and relocated. So they all live in Richmond now. We took a kid from VCU, Nick. He told me, "Young brother," he said, "I really want to write." He was an honor student. He wasn't getting the kind of jobs he wanted that really respected his talent or his craft. I was like, "All right, I'll take a chance on you. You want to write? I want to start a magazine. I'm going to put some money into you, and you're going to help me to write these articles. You'll be the co-founding editor. I'll be the co-founding editor." And so now, 2 years later, I mean, our issue next month will have Jeffrey Wright on the cover, the Jeffrey Wright.
Okay. So, as a business owner, a person, what's the biggest when a person talks about exposure? You seem to be very good at exposure, and we've had this conversation. How do you generate exposure so people see what you're doing?
Well, I think, that point I made earlier was not just to sound witty, the idea of using the tools of your time. So doing interviews like this and being open to it, making sure that you use the social media, you plug into the young people, you are authentic so that people, because people can tell when you're saying something that ain't real. And that'll be the quickest turn off and they'll shut you out. We're in this little bit of cancel culture, I guess they call it. And so what we do is when we, even in our magazine, for example, we had the founder of Netflix, we had Vivica Fox, Deborah Martin Chase, who did Harriet. And what we did was we said, we're not, we don't want to write about you just to sing your praises. What we want to do is tell that young kid who thinks they're on the wrong side of the tracks how they can do what you did. We want to demystify your success. And so people got that authenticity, that authentic response, those authentic writings. They saw us as a genuine publication that cared about the community. Then we launched our TV network, soulvision.tv, and deliberately, we launched it on Valentine's Day because we wanted it to be a gift. And now we have over 400 hours. We've got the most programming of any minority-owned over-the-top TV network right here.